Hi guys, thanks for joining me again as we go through another week of training, the penultimate week before my 10k race in Mansfield on the 8th of September. We've got a packed week of training this week, and I've asked ChatGPT whether it's got any advice to give me as I approach this final week and head towards the taper ready for race day. It's given me advice in 6 key areas that are going to be vital to make sure I get a good result on the day and make the most of this final bit of training. Stick around and we'll go through all of the key bits of information that ChatGPT has given me as it coaches me, hopefully, towards a 10k PB. I am so sore after Sunday's workout. I must be mad for even attempting this. So I did the squats and calves workout on the Sunday, my lower body strength session. And then Monday was a rest day. I've got the plan set up so that it's usually a rest day or just an easy run the day after a lower body workout, which is ideal and much needed. But you know how the DOMS works. The day after, you've always got sore muscles, and then the day after that, everything's just kind of super sharp pain, just not in so many places. I'm at that stage now, and just about to do a 6x800 meter session at 5k pace after this 10-minute warm-up. So if the first rep goes badly, I may have to swap tomorrow's easy run in place of this one. Right, that's the first rep done, and legs are feeling okay now, thankfully. Nowhere near as bad as they are when you're just at home sort of testing them, standing up, sitting down, that sort of thing. Once you're on the run, it loosens things up, I think. I know from experience that running through this bit with the tree cover and the cloud cover, sat-nav's going to be no use to me, or GPS I should say. My speed will be anyone's guess. 3 reps done, mostly uphill at the end of that one. I don't know why I've suddenly developed this strange compunction to want to sit on every bench I pass as I'm running. Weird. 8km easy run today. My hamstrings have almost forgiven me for Sunday's squat session. It's now Wednesday afternoon. I've got this week off work, so I can be quite flexible with my running schedule. It's nice, 20-21 degrees and sunny. I think it's going to rain later, so getting out while I can. I noticed after watching last week's video where I went through a week of training, I kept talking about my easy pace being 5:24 to 5:54 per kilometre, and I showed a screenshot at the beginning where the plan had it as 5:30 to 5:57. I'd forgotten that among my many chats with the AI coach, I'd asked it to take into account the hilly nature of all my runs, and it just reduced the pace slightly to 5:30 to 5:57. I hadn't been in and changed all my workout plans in Garmin, but I've done it now, so it will be a slightly slower pace. The target range for all of my easy runs now, including this one. The first 2 kilometres were about 6.5 minutes each as I tackled the usual uphill warm-up, just starting to get a bit closer to target pace on the 3rd k now. I've still not hit it. So it's Thursday, still off work, so I've had my breakfast a couple of hours ago, and now it's time for a bench press workout. Get the main lift done, which is the bench, follow that up with some barbell rows supersetted with dips, and finally some dumbbell rows. So let's go.
I wanna taste the pain. I think I'm seeing all red. 2 bullets in the gun, 1 shot to the head. I need a blank space. 'Cause everything is a threat, but I never back down, man. I'd rather be dead.
Morning guys, time for the Friday 8k easy run now. It's a fairly cool 8 Celsius, but it'll be going up to 20 Celsius this afternoon, so getting out nice and early. I'm ignoring the pacing advice from my watch this morning. It is an easy run, but I'm running between 1 minute and half a minute per kilometre slower than it recommends.
Garmin's always telling me I don't do enough low aerobic work. Most of my runs are in the high aerobic zone, so thought I'd try and appease it this morning. Had a good night's sleep. Sleep score was 91, excellent, and body battery was up to 100%, so I felt good, and just decided to take it easy, make sure I'm ready to enjoy the long run tomorrow. Morning guys, Saturday, time for the long run. It's a lovely morning and I've got 16 kilometers to do. The traffic's a lot busier than I would have hoped because I got up a bit later than I was planning to. It took me a bit longer to go back to sleep after the 5 AM wee this morning, so I slept in till 8:30, got ready and came out just before 9. So yeah, quite a lot of traffic on a Saturday morning. So I asked ChatGPT if it had any training advice for me as I approach this final long run before next weekend's 10k race. It came back with advice in 6 key areas, which we'll discuss as the run goes along. So the first tip was about the pacing strategy for today's long run. What it suggested is that I incorporate a short block at my goal 10k pace, just to get used to that, and also try to manage the run so that it's more of a negative split, starting out fairly easy and just building into it. So I'm going to try and do a kilometre at 4:36 per kilometre at some point in this middle section of the run. The next tip was about fueling and hydration, where the idea is that I have the same breakfast that I'll be having on race day, and thankfully we got some yellow bananas delivered this week instead of green, so I was able to have a banana before I set out. I've brought a few gummy sugar coated sweets with me just to chew along the way, which I may or may not do on race day, but I'll try them out today, see how it goes. I have had them on my long runs before and they were good. The third point was noting that this long run marks the start of my taper for next week's race. So the idea is not to push things too hard today, keep the majority of the run nice and easy, and don't overdo the section at 10k pace. And next week the training will be significantly lighter as I let my legs freshen up ready for the race. Somehow I managed to do that kilometre at exactly 4:36 pace, which is crazy because it was downhill to start with, then uphill. The difference in effort was crazy and it was bobbing up and down all over the place, but somehow the average came out okay, so that was lucky. So the next tip it gave me was about mental preparation. Suggested visualising what's going to happen on race day and using positive affirmations to build confidence during the run. So last weekend, well earlier this week I should say, while I've been on holiday, I did go over to Mansfield shopping for my daughter's school uniform, and I took the opportunity to scout out the car park I want to use and just get to know Mansfield town centre a bit. So that was a bit of prep, allowing me to visualise what I'll be doing on race day. Not really come up with any affirmations just yet. I'll work on that, I guess. I am a strong, confident runner. The jelly sweets are going down well. Helps if I blow my nose on my handkerchief before I have one, so then I can breathe through my nose, as it's usually running while I'm running. I'm getting better with age, like a fine wine. I'm allowing the pace to drift a bit more slow, if that's English. As I run up the hill towards Tibshelf, where I do actually have to go on this route, because that adds a few kilometres compared to last week when I accidentally started running this way and had to go back. 4:36 pace is really easy. I'm approaching the start of the Tom Hewlett mile. Don't think I'll be racing it today. If you've seen my video on that, you'll know how hilly this section is. The next tip was about post-run recovery, where it advised making sure after the run that I stretch, do some foam rolling and eat some good food, making sure to get some carbs and protein in there so I can recover well. I usually do one of those three. So we'll see about the stretching and foam rolling when I get back. Sounds like a good idea though. Does anybody want to see what my handkerchief looks like at the end of the run? Let me know in the comments. And the final tip from ChatGPT in reference to doing this final long run before my 10k race was to do a gear check, which means I'm wearing the exact kit that I'll be wearing next weekend for the race. Got my vest, my usual trail shorts, Takumi Sen 8s on my feet, the socks I'm planning on wearing. The only thing that might change is the underwear. I think I prefer the Decathlon boxer shorts rather than the underwear briefs. They just seem to get a bit sweaty these days. So yeah, so far so good. I've done more than 10k, everything's feeling great. Did a kilometre at race pace, that was all good. So I think I've got the kit nailed. A couple of extra things I do need to remember on race day is, one, put some tape on my right nipple. That's the only one that ever starts rubbing and getting a bit sore on a longer run. Should be okay on a 10k, but better safe than sorry. And then putting some tape on the inside of my left foot, just behind the big toe, where in most of my shoes starts rubbing as the miles go up on a longer run. Apart from the ultras, of course, because they're actually designed to fit your feet, which is very rare these days. I plan most of this route to be on roads or hard packed trails. There's just one section of woods and a couple of small fields I need to trot through in the Takumi Sens, which I've not done before, and that should be interesting. It has been fairly dry recently, so hopefully that goes well.
Right guys, it's Sunday. Time for one more quick training montage before we finish the week of training.
I think I'm seeing all red. 2 bullets in the gun, 1 shot to the head. I need a blank space, 'cause everything is a threat. But I never back down, man, I'd rather be dead. I'm making love to fate, and she look better in bed. And I'ma rock this life till I take my last breath. I wanna make a change. I got 1 life left, so I'm gonna go down swinging, don't you forget.
Would you believe I've now only got 2 runs and a shoulder workout before the race on Sunday the 8th of September, the Mansfield 10k. Really looking forward to it now. Feeling great at the moment. Got 2 rest days leading up to the race, so should be fresh and ready to go. Practiced with all my kit the other day, everything seems good. So I've just been having a bit of a discussion with ChatGPT about my target pace, and I'm thinking of moving from a 46-minute goal to a 45:30. I've got the Pace Pro set up, so that will ease me into it and hopefully accelerate as the race goes on. Not sure about the terrain, how much elevation there is on the course in Mansfield, so I guess I'll find out on the day. Thanks for joining me for this week's training, guys. Hope you'll join me again for the race next week. Can't wait, and I'll see you there.
I wanna taste the pain. I think I'm seeing all red. 2 bullets in the gun, 1 shot